firstly, I'm going to talk about some really quick stuff, kind of going against what Mark's has talked about in some really detailed forecasting stuff. Some of the really quick stuff you can do, obviously using numbers that aren't very accurate, but stuff that can help inform what you're doing, what you're working on. And then I'm going to talk about some good data sources that I use to help kind of prove value when you've got clients maybe questioning what they're spending or questioning results in some way. Alternative ways of proving value that go past kind of just talking about visibility or just talking about traffic, for example. So in a really quick and dirty way, if you've got a search term set, you've got your rankings, you can quickly get at rough search volumes and click-through data. And this is just an example of looking at what's the difference between where I'm ranking at the moment and potentially where the traffic I could be getting on the first page. So maybe you want to whittle this down to rankings that you've got at the top half of the second page. What search terms are actually going to drive me the quickest kind of short-term benefits? A lot of times you get clients worried about the fact that people use phrases like SEO is a slow burner or things like that. You want to be able to show short-term gains very quickly, and simply by pulling together a little bit of data very quickly, you can kind of target some maybe mid-range terms that you can go for straight away. In a similar vein, very quickly looking at data, maybe you want to look at, you've got some ranking, a search term set, and you know you scrape the top 30 in this instance for a set of, these are flight terms. Quickly bringing together a little bit of information about the search volumes and the potential click-through rates. I just want to have, maybe it's a search term set you've never looked at in an industry you've never looked at. In this case, it's a very generic one, but just quickly pivot that data. Which domains are potentially going to be getting the most traffic out of this search term set? Immediately, you've got a bit of an idea of who the main players are in this industry. Obviously, this is quite an obvious one, but you could be looking at quite a niche industry. You want to find out who's ranking. You want to maybe use that information to drive. You know, maybe I want to look at what link building tactics they're doing. Equally, you can just flip the data around a little bit, filter it by one particular domain, look at the search terms where they're ranking the best and where they're potentially driving most of that traffic, which makes them one of those key players in that industry. Again, Mark's gone through a great example of how you can do this a lot more accurately, but this will take you 15 minutes and you immediately got an idea of who you need to be looking at in this industry, or who kind of the main players. Obviously, most people scrape information about rankings from SERPs on a regular basis, but it's worth considering when you're coming up with maybe some ideas about the activity you want to do for a particular site, thinking about scraping some other information. So in this example, I've had a client before, I've had a search term set, and I just simply want to know which of these search terms is returning local results. And then on top of that, you might want to be thinking about what have these results got in common? Like, are they all using a localized phone number? Do they all have reviews? How many reviews do those sites have? Scraping more information than just rankings is going to sort of drive, it's going to inform you in the kind of way that's really going to improve your results, basically. And this, again, with something Mark talked about as well with the universal results. Obviously, there's more and more potential data you could be scraping. Is there news results? Are there image results? What have the news results got in common? This is the kind of data that's going to really inform what you're doing.